Close enough. Not Burmese, but Chroma. Hello there, CriterioNate here, number 379. Kon Ichikawa's The Burmese Harp. Biruma no Tategoto. 1956, 116 minutes, Japanese and Burmese, and English too. So, we're having an Ichikawa double feature today. And this one, of course, is before Fires on the Plain, but of course it's the second in the. It was released after, or I guess I'm sure that Criterion released them at the same time back in 2007. So yeah, but anyway, this movie is another war film. This one set in Burma. A lot of Japanese soldiers that were fighting in Burma. And one of them played, what was his name? Does it say his name? No, what is his name? He had a really cool name. What is that dude? What was the dude's name? Private Mizushima. He is a harp. He plays the harp to help their troop signal, like when it's all clear and all that. When they're moving, doing orders and all that. And he does it to keep their spirits up and play more for morale and all that. And so at one point they end up running into a bunch of British soldiers, and they start playing this melody that ends up being There's No Place Like Home, and so they sing together, and they end up surrendering to the British. And so at some point, Mizushima is sent off to on this almost suicide mission, and he ends up into this cave, and gosh, he ends up throwing a grenade or something. And he ends up, and all the soldiers go, and I think the cave explodes or something. I totally missed that part, but yeah. So anyway, so Mizushima ends up being the only survivor of this big, this big attack, and so he comes out of the battle injured, and he meets this monk who helps him recover, and he ends up taking his robe and shaving his head and disguising himself as a monk and just trying to get out of the war. But he still has his harp with him, and so he plays, and the soldiers keep moving on, and by this point, they're on the lookout for him, for Mizushima. However, they keep seeing, and as they're going, they keep running into this monk who looks, just like him, and so they're having these oh my god, I'm tripping out, kind of moments. At one point, they end up teaching a parrot how to say, Mizushima, let's go back to Japan, or something like that. And so, yeah, so they end up, and yeah, I guess Mizushima gets word of this, because he can slide, drift in and out of places without being seen, and the soldiers, recognize him, but they're afraid to talk to him because they figure, oh, it's just a monk who just happens to look dead on like him and happens to have a harp and know the same songs that we do, And so, yeah. So anyway, at one point he ends up finding the corpses of his of the dead soldiers, of his comrades, and he ends up deciding to bury them, and he realizes he can't leave and go back to Japan until they're taken care of. So he ends up writing the camp a letter, and they're really moved by this, and so they move on, and they realize not to follow him or anything, something like that. Yeah, the plot was a little tricky to follow, but it's still it's a more thought-provoking movie, a little less actiony than I think Fires on the Plain. Fires on the Plain. I mean, they're both thought-provoking movies, but Fires on the Plain is a little more animalistic, and Burmese Harp is a lot more spirituality to it, and a lot more sort of like definitely a lot more spirituality to it, a lot more oneness, just because of the the idea of him becoming a Buddhist monk. And the idea and all the music in it too, playing the harp, And so I don't have much else to say about it. It's a really, again, a fantastic movie by Ichikawa, and he just proves himself again to be a really interesting director. And I wish there was more of his work in the Criterion Collection. That's all I got to say about this one. Burmese Harp, give it an A. It's a good movie. I don't know which one I like more. I think I gave Fires on the Plain more. I think I might like Fires on the Plain a little more just because I found the plot a little easier to understand. But that being said, the concept, I mean, the stories are both great, but just the order of events, I think, was a little easier to understand in Fires on the Plain than the Burmese Harp, So maybe it just, I don't know. Again, but both stories are great. But yeah, I think Fires on the Plain was a bit stronger than the Burmese Harp. But maybe that's just because my brain can figure out more actiony movies better than more slow down kind of movies and focus on stuff like that. But anyway, Burmese Harp A, still check it out. New interview with Kon Ichikawa, and there's a new interview with Rentaro Mikuni, who played the captain, and the trailer, and that's it. Thankfully, no stupid Richie screwing things up. So yeah, Burmese Harp A, Ichikawa. So that takes care of our Ichikawa double feature, and that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I don't know if I have any morals. I don't think there's any morals in this. Don't teach parrots how to say random phrases, and don't make fun of your captain singing because he'll give you a weird Morris Day look. This is a scene toward the front, which is just the captain turns around and looks at his men, and he gives them this really weird quizzical look, like it looked like Morris Day from the time. If any of you guys are Prince fans, may you rest in peace. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow for... No, not that one. That's Friday. See you tomorrow for The Naked City, Jules Daphne. Oh, boy. I'm excited. Anyway, until then, goodbye. Oh, let me play you out. Screw it. Goodbye.